So give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me in the chat, just so that I can be sure. Is all right, perfect. Because I mean, I can't believe this. I forgot to use this web. I forgot that this is how they do calls on Discord. We might actually have to end up using advanced security training next time, because it's a little bit nicer for the streaming than this is, because I didn't realize that this is like I didn't realize how one to, or how many to many the Discord stuff is going to be. So unfortunately, I mean, like, for example, Telegram uses RTMP. Everyone uses RTMP. Everyone uses streaming, guys. This technically isn't streaming. We're technically in a video call. So I mean, just like Zoom would be. Anyway, so yeah, so I don't want to. I mean, welcome to the Advanced Security Discord, which we launched 2 weeks ago or whatever. So I'm super excited to be welcoming you guys on the server. Seeing a couple people join, hang out. Hopefully we're going to be doing this on a semi-regular basis. By the way, I don't have headphones on right now. I mean, I saw the voice chat stuff. I'm reading the text chat. But if anyone tries to preempt me and speak, I won't be able to hear you. So you guys will have to tell me in the voice chat if something goes haywire. Also, for those that are worried that they won't see this, I'm gonna record it, so don't worry. I'm already recording it. I'll chop it up nicely, put it in the general chat. You guys will be able to view it after the fact as well. I'm trying to think what else. So yeah. So anyway, I feel like we got off with a big bang with this Discord server and the bootcamp, which we'll talk about in a second. And a lot of people have been participating, enjoying it. I've been super excited to see how many people signed up. I didn't expect it to go nearly as well as it did. So I'm pleasantly surprised. I mean, that so many people were interested. It was always like a hypothetical for us. I mean, people got excited, so we're excited too. So we're totally on board with this thing, and we're going to have a lot of epic content coming out. So I'm super excited to see everyone here. Let me show you guys real quickly. I will show you guys really quickly what we're, quote unquote, all about. All right, we're switching scenes, guys. We're switching scenes. If there's an issue, you have to tell me. If there's the issue, you have to tell me, but we should be good. So I do see one issue. One issue is that Dimitri's not happy. Dimitri has multiple cameras, and why is it this camera here? Why is it this camera and not the other camera? Let's switch cameras, guys. We gotta switch to that camera. We gotta rep all the cameras during a live stream. So we're switching to alternate camera over here. So I want to show you guys real quick a couple of short URLs. This one's ASTFYI is our kind of URL shortener thing. So this is ASTFYI/bundles. You guys can check out. So I was on the Stefan Livera podcast. We have a crypto bundle going. Essentially, it's the hardware hacking with FPGAs, the introduction to fault injection and glitching, and the cryptocurrency one bundled together. This one I think is like $5,000 at the moment. So you get 3 trainings for $5,000. The other really popular one is just the hardware hacking with FPGAs and the fault injection one. I can also recommend this one. A lot of people take this, go hack devices, dump firmware, do all that kind of stuff. That one right now is $4,000. So if you guys go with that one, you essentially get a extra class. So I can recommend it. What we're doing now with the Discord and the bootcamp is essentially that you will get, you're gonna get essentially extra months of you essentially get extra months of bootcamp access from you get additional months of bootcamp access for every training that you take. So even those who signed up, like, don't panic, guys. We're gonna figure out. We're gonna have a credit system where, like, you guys can back apply, because I know a bunch of you guys have taken trainings with us in the past. So if you have, we're gonna probably by the end of the month we're gonna launch something so you can credit yourself for the trainings you've taken. But if you take training, one or more trainings, now you're gonna get additional months of bootcamp access as well, which has been pretty epic. So we'll get into the bootcamp access in a second. So yeah, anyway, this is AST, the short URL. I'll show you one more time. ASTFYI/bundles is how you get here. I mean, it's also the URL at the end of here, but just astfyi.bundles. I'll include it on the Discord, just in case you guys need a couple of the links. The other one that we're going to be doing, or the other one that a bunch of people are already in, is ast.fyi/bootcamp. So hardware hacking bootcamp. So the introductory rate was $79. You guys missed it, but guess what? Guess what? Let's go full screen. We'll go full screen for this. Guys, guess what? Guess what? If you stay until the end of the webinar, we'll give you a special link to get the $79 limited time offer, basically until the end of the stream. I mean, not really the end of the stream. We'll give you guys a couple extra hours, but you guys get the idea. So going back, what do we have here? So this is the bootcamp. So I'll run you guys through the bootcamp. So the bootcamp is, we release 4 videos a month. The videos are nicely edited so that we cover a pretty complicated topic in a short amount of time. We try to strive for them to be 10 to 20 minutes, depending on how realistic that is. But definitely something that you can easily consume. There's going to be practical components. There's going to be theory. So in general, the kind of the structure is practical, a practical assignment, some theory, some equipment that we recommend that you guys use. And there's also going to be like a recurring segment that we've had a lot of people ask for, is like pro tips, life hacks, which admittedly there's a lot of pro tips and life hacks in the bootcamp chat. So when you become a bootcamp subscriber, you guys get access to the bootcamp chat. There's a lot of people recommending soldering irons to one another, logic analyzers to one another, talking about their experiences, etc., etc. So just keep that in mind. It's there. I mean, this is epic. This is one of the things that you want to come hang out in, and that we're all hanging out. And I even think that almost everyone participating in the live webinar is already a subscriber. So just keep that in mind. That's kind of how we do here. So the cool, I mean, I don't want to call it the cool chat. I mean, the chat with all the bonus content is the paid one. So just click here. It's going to take you there. However, like I said, webinar. If you're here watching this video live right now, wait until the end. I'll show you a link where you guys can get a discount. So we'll give you that at the very end. Last one I'll save for last. So let's go back. I'll go back to the intro screen. So let's talk a little bit about the bootcamp, just super quickly. I mean, the thing, so going in, I mean, I knew the content would do well because we tested it with a client. I'm super excited how well the chat is going, how much people are discussing different topics, etc. I mean, I didn't expect it to go as good as it's been going. I mean, in a good way. I'm pleasantly surprised how much exchange there is. I mean, I had a feeling for it because, like I mentioned in one of the videos, we tried this with a client. We basically did it on one of their private chat servers, and it was going, I mean, this is like the inception of this idea. And so the fact that it's going just as well online just makes me super happy. So enough talking, Dimitri. Give us the Raspberry Pi stuff. So let's smoothly transition over to the Raspberry Pis. Let's do table. Oh no, there's no camera. There's no camera. Let's go. Let's get one of the cameras up. Let's do this one. Which one's this? Side cam. No, let's do the other one. Let's do the other one. I feel like the other one's gonna be better. Oh no, that's the notifications. Let's switch them. Let's switch it up. Let's do the other camera because then I'm gonna feel less awkward looking at the screen. All right, so we got I got a couple boards here. Let's get the light on. Boom, boom. We got the light on. All right, so I've been looking. I mean, the Raspberry Pi Pico is really taking off. So what's the Raspberry Pi Pico? It's this guy right here, the Raspberry Pi Pico. So at the end of the day, what do we have? We actually have what's called a RP2040 microcontroller. Technically, it doesn't have, I mean, the idea with these is that they're flashless. I mean, so they don't even store your image necessarily, or at least that's how a lot of people use them, especially with a MicroPython. So essentially it's like bring your own memory on these things. So you write like a firmware image to them, but for the most part, you're like, it's in memory. So you gotta plug it into the machine to get some software up and running on there. The thing here's like, I'll be reiterating this for the bootcamp because just based on some of the questions that we got inside the bootcamp, and also, I mean, just questions that I'm getting from other people interested in this kind of stuff that haven't signed up yet. The question is, why do people care about the Raspberry Pi Pico so much? And the answer is, it's one of the best platforms to run a Python interpreter right on the thing. it's like the best supported one. It's the one that's getting the most development. And so you can run something called MicroPython. It's basically a Python interpreter that runs on a piece of hardware. And what that means is you're writing Python instead of writing C. I mean, so at the end of the day, guys, I'll go full screen. Guys, at the end of the day, the thing is, people don't like writing C. Rust hasn't changed anything. I mean, it's like constantly around the corner, but I mean, we're here. I still haven't seen Rust arrive. And so what do we have at the end of the day? We have a board where everything is where we want to run Python. Why do we want to write Python? Because it's easier to write. I mean, let's be honest. That's the goal here. We're trying to write Python because people are more familiar with Python. People don't like C code. It's hard to write good C code, et cetera, et cetera. So, I mean, that's the real reason that this thing's taken off as the best MicroPython platform. So here you go, Raspberry Pi Pico MicroPython platform. So the thing is, technically, like, people lose sight of things. So it's not the microcontroller itself that we need the MicroPython for, quote unquote. It's or the board rather. It's not the Pico board. It's the microcontroller. So the microcontroller has the support. So people forget. I mean, I'm grinding my teeth having these conversations with people. Because you get this board, it's great. It doesn't cost anything. And then it's like BYO headers. Bring your own headers, guys. Bring your own headers. Just solder some headers on there. So what is that, 20 pins? And now you're soldering 40 pins. I mean, like, guys, what do you value your time at? I mean, it pains me. It pains me to hear this, that people do this. The other thing that I have an issue with this board is there's just a single LED on here, which, I mean, is, let's say, so I mean, there's one LED on here. You can blink it, but I mean, that only gets you so far. So there's nicer ones out there nowadays. So this is like a Chinese Raspberry Pi Pico, quote unquote. So it actually has a flash on here, because the original, I mean, yeah, anyway, I haven't done all the bring up on this stuff to fully appreciate the differences. I just know that the stuff that I cared about, the first thing that I cared about is, does it have USB-C? So this one does. That means I can use a USB-C cable. That's already a gigantic advantage. This guy only has micro USB. Then we have these buttons. So we have 3 buttons here, only a single button here. So this button, when you hold it down, when you plug it in, it gets you into the DFU bootloader mode. Here we have one of those buttons. I can't see at an angle. This one says user. This one says reset. So it's this button right here. This button is the same, but then you also have an additional button that you can use, and you also have a reset button, which is really nice because sometimes you just want to reset the board. And on this guy, I mean, you're like touching pins. You're touching pins with a wire or like a spoon or something like that to short them. I mean, is not great. Not great. Let's call it not great, guys. So yeah. So anyway, this one's significantly improved. It has one of those LED pixels. I forgot what the name is. It's like WS80 something something. It's like a 4-digit number that starts with 8, as far as I remember, but it's a pretty common RGB LED. So if you have a RGB LED light strip, I don't have the light strips powered on. They turn on after the stream, but the light strips are typically that. Although I guess I do have some light strips inside the streaming machine behind me, so usually all that kind of stuff, that's the kind of LED that is in there. So there's essentially serial protocol that you have to send it to toggle it. So keep that in mind, but that's better than, and then we have a regular LED over here as well. So this is already superior to just a single LED. I would argue arguably better. So some would say it's arguably better. But there's other platforms as well. So let me show you. Let me get rid of both of these. So here's, I just got this today. So here's a Raspberry Pi Pico. And what they actually did is they took the same, essentially, form factor and improved it. So check it out. Raspberry Pi Pico, micro USB. What 2024 micro USB on the bigger brother to the Raspberry Pi Pico, still micro USB? Why micro USB, guys? Why? Look at this. 2 USB-C by these guys, by these Waveshare guys. Look at this. The header is already soldered. What does Dimitri get to do tomorrow to work with this Raspberry Pi Pico. He gets to go and solder. I mean, am I looking forward to it? I mean, somewhat, admittedly somewhat, but I mean, I got a dog now. I got a kid running around. I mean, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to like time it when the wife and the kid and the dog are outside so that I don't burn anyone. I mean, come on, guys. Sometimes I just want to sit at my desk and plug cables in. I mean, it's hardware hacking when you plug cables in as well. It isn't. You don't have to solder everything. I mean, what is this? So yeah, so keep that in mind. I do really like this board for that reason that it's already soldered on. Otherwise, it tries to pretend it's a Raspberry Pi Pico for the most part. I mean, header soldered on, but otherwise it's pretty similar. It doesn't have the, I can't remember if this is a screen. No, this is a camera connector, I think, over here. So it doesn't have that, but for the most part, it's like a similar layout. So it has HDMI, or I think it's like micro HDMI over here, just as the original does, etc., etc. So I mean, it is pretty good. I actually really like this board. I can't believe I was I was so excited about this board, and then I was like, what are the gotchas? What are the gotchas? Here, I'll go full screen. I was like, what is wrong with this board? What might be wrong with this board? And I started looking with my keen eye, and I thought I found it. I was like, wait, wrong one. Let's do this one. I thought I found it. And I was like, I know what it is. It does not have buttons. I thought. And then I spotted the buttons over here. And then I was like, damn it, I didn't find it. So as far as I can tell, though, I mean, unless I'm missing something, I'm looking one more time before people like yell at me, because all it has LED wise is this LED down here, and that's the power LED. So I think it's like bring your own LED. It's like hook up your LEDs over to here, and BY LED, BYO LED. I'm sorry, guys. They just, I mean, these guys, they did everything right, but then they decided you don't need a LED on this thing. So anyway, these, by the way, whether it's the Raspberry Pi, whether like these on AliExpress, I mean, on AliExpress, this is literally 99 cents, which is insane to me. This one is a little bit more, but you can find them on, the key thing that you got to search for to find these is, instead of searching for Raspberry Pi Pico, just search for RP2040, which is the microcontroller name of the Raspberry Pi Pico, and you'll find all these compatible devices that are basically emulating the Raspberry Pi Pico. So you're gonna find a ton of ones. There's a ton of different form factors. There's significantly more compact boards than this one, etc., etc. I mean, there's a ton of stuff out there. And then as long as it's an RP2040, I mean, to make your life easy, just make sure it has a button for the DFU. Just make sure it has at least one button on there. And then you should be pretty good to go. You should be able to get your Python up and running on this thing, no matter how compact, etc. It is. All right. So that is our short intro into these alternative Raspberry Pi boards, guys. Just keep in mind they exist. People think you got to buy the original, but the other ones are nicer. I mean, look at this. Look at this guy with the USB-C, the extra buttons, the LED. I mean, this guy's pretty good, but you have to solder the headers. So if you're really into soldering headers, I mean, you can buy the Chinese clone and still you get to solder the headers. Last thing that I also forgot, which I should show for completeness, like stuff that people that haven't worked with a lot of hardware like undervalue is, I mean, so fortunately the original has all these markings on there. So if you look, it'll like mark which pin is which. So these guys do as well. But I mean, like, just keep that in mind. That's as Dave Jones from the EEV blog says, that's a trap for young players. So you got to watch out that the labels are there, because they're going to save you a ton of time. Because I don't have to get a schematic to work with this guy. I can just read which pin is what on these headers, and it saves me a ton of time. I mean, on top of it, technically, I don't remember which Raspberry Pi introduced this, but they have the color coding as well. So I think green is like GPIO, red is power, yellow is something else, blue is like, what's blue? Flip it over. Blue is, I would have thought that it's, I'm assuming ground. No, wait. Here. Yeah, so I guess it's ground. I mean, it's weird that both of those are ground, but whatever. Maybe Maybe they're GPIO 0 and 1 and they have a special purpose. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure how these are labeled, but you guys get the idea. I mean, they'll save you a ton of time. Oh yeah, the grounds are definitely black, so GPIO 0 and 1 must be some special purpose that I'm not thinking of right now. All right, so summary really quickly. Let's do a summary. Raspberry Pi Pico, pretty awesome. Gets you a Python interpreter running on the microcontroller. I mean, there's other platforms that run MicroPython, but this is by far the most supported one. It's where all the development's happening. If you, it's essentially MicroPython is synonymous with the Raspberry Pi Pico. It means that you, instead of programming your microcontroller in C, you get to program it in Python. Fun fact, because people know I look at wallets a lot. The Trezor T uses also MicroPython to a degree. Don't ask me how or why, but they do. So this one, I mean, yeah. So this is probably the best. I mean, it's not probably. It is the best platform for MicroPython by far, by far. So I recommend, if you guys haven't tried it out, if you're less afraid of Python than you are hardware for sure, then try out MicroPython. It'll be, it'll be a nice time. It'll be a nice time for you new guys. And the key thing is, search for, instead of searching for Raspberry Pi Pico on Amazon or AliExpress or wherever you want to order these, $3 boards, I recommend you guys check out and search for the RP2040, which is the microcontroller that gets used, because you'll be able to find a bunch of other boards that are essentially using the same chip. And if you're using the other boards, what's going to end up happening is you're going to be able to, you're essentially going to find these other non-standard form factors for it, et cetera, et cetera. All right, so I'm trying to think what else. So yeah, so I mean, but that's pretty much it. As far as it goes for the Raspberry Pi Pico stuff, so definitely do a search. Maybe, guys, for the Bootcamp hangout, we'll see if somebody else can find some nice RP2040 boards. That'll be a bonus in the Bootcamp. We'll have a discussion who finds the best RP2040 form factors out there. I will myself look at them, so that'll be another reason to join the Bootcamp as well. All right, let me check if there was any questions or anything. I only see the thumbs. Which makes me think that everything went well. So last thing, I promised you guys I'd show you the secret URL. You survived this far. I'll show you the secret URL. So the secret URL is going to be ast.fyi/webinar. You guys go there. It's going to take you here. And here you have 2 hours and 30 minutes to sign up at the $79 rate, because that went up this week. So you guys can have the old rate. Just click join our bootcamp, fill this in, and you should be good to go. You guys can hang out with us in the the nice private lounge area. For our subscribers, for our boot campers. And we're gonna have a lot of discussion there, hopefully as well. So check out that. Check out some of our other courses. We're gonna be doing this on a pretty regular basis. I mean, I think we're probably gonna have a free and bootcamp webinar every month. So just keep that in mind if you guys want to. You guys want to hang around the server. There is some stuff that we're going to be releasing in the general chat, but the cool stuff is all essentially you have to join to get access to. All right, so I think that's it. If there's any other questions, I'll take them in the chat. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll chop this up. I'll post this in the general chat as a recording as well in case anyone missed it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks for joining us today, guys. I'll see you around on our Discord server.